Fine. So I'll create a new Java project over here known as day2, right? And inside it I'll add the jar files. Okay, I'll add the jar files of Selenium. Now guys, please note that initial trial classes are only for first, rather eight people right now, so please try to join in early. My WebEx license only has got the capacity of 25 joinees, right? So this is day 2, right? Inside day 2 project there is a source folder, and over here I'll be creating a new class, right? And we'll start up with the concepts of object oriented programming. Fine. Okay, so over here you have got, yesterday I made the class laptop, right? Let's take up that class only, laptop and user class. I'll copy over here, right? Inside the laptop class you have the two variables, int price and string name, right? And inside the user class I was just creating the objects of the laptop class, right? I was initializing the objects and I was printing the price and all, everything. Okay, right? And you know, this is how you actually create the object. The object is separate and the object reference is separate. That's what I told you. The object reference points towards the object. Okay, now going over to laptop.java, these two are the variables, int price and string name. Okay, now technically these are known as non-static global variables. Alright, fine. This is also, the name is also non-static global variable. Alright, then there is a function like public void get details, for example. Okay, inside it I will print system.out.println the name of the laptop, suppose. Okay, this function is known as non-static function. Okay, right? Are you guys not able to hear it? Like Mukesh is saying that he's having some volume issue. Are you guys able to hear me? You can also reply in the chat, WebEx chat. Are you guys able to hear me? Mukesh, you can check your volume. Okay, right. So get details function, okay, it is non-static in nature. Fine. And you print the name of the laptop inside it. Now what is the speciality of non-static? Okay, the speciality of non-static is that if I am creating the object of the class, if I create 10 objects of the class, then each object will hold a copy of the non-static variable name, price, get details. Okay, non-static things would be present inside each and every object. Okay, for example, in user.java, let me delete this. Hold on. If I write L1.name is laptop A and L2.name is laptop B. So when L1 calls the print or the get details function, okay, it will print the get details function will print the name of L1. Okay, right? So when you run this, it prints A, and when L2 prints, it prints L2 dot get details, and when I run this sorry guys, it will print B. Alright, fine. So L1 dot get details and L2 dot get details, it will print A and B. Okay, fine. Now I think this is clear. Right, now what is static? What is static? Well, suppose there is something which is common for all the laptops. Okay, for example, int batteries. Now we also know we also know that number of batteries inside every laptop is 1, right? So over here, if I want to initialize, then I'll write L1 dot batteries are 1 because it is non-static. Okay, L2 dot batteries are also 1. So it doesn't make sense, right? Because all the laptops will have one battery. Why should I enable the battery variable again and again, right? So that's why we make it static. When we make it static, okay, what happens is that this battery variable lies somewhere over here. Okay, it lies somewhere over here, and okay, and what happens is that each and every object has access to it. It's common for every object, battery variable. Alright, battery variable becomes common for every object. Okay, and what you can do, it's moved out of the object, it's not the part of the object. You can simply access it with the name of the class, laptop dot batteries are equal to 1. Okay, laptop dot batteries, there are number of batteries in a laptop should be equal to 1. There is one battery in a laptop, right? So every object will have one. So static things can be accessed with the name of the class. Okay, there can be static functions as well, there can be static global variables as well. So this is static global variables, and there can be a static function as well, right? If you look at the main function is always static, so that whenever Java executes the program, it doesn't have to create the object of the user class. It will directly call user.main function. Okay, because static things can be directly accessed with the class name dot the static property. Okay, right? I hope you got my point. Fine. Now coming over to Selenium. Alright, let's look at basic things in Selenium and how object-oriented programming is used over there. Right, we have got different drivers in Selenium. There is one driver for every browser. Guys, please keep your microphones on mute. Right, I'll just create a new class known as Selenium Basics. Okay, right, and let's talk about the first driver, which is Firefox driver. We also talked about it yesterday. Okay, Firefox driver, I'll create the object f equals to new Firefox driver. Okay, now this is the Firefox driver class. You can import it. Okay, you have created the object. With f, you can access the non-static features of this class. F dot, if you write, you will get so many non-static functions inside this class. Okay, right, now what these functions do, okay, how they are used, fine, we will look at that, right? We'll look at that in some time. If you hold on, if you go to seleniumhq.org and if you click on this link Java doc, right, you will see the Java documentation, right? And over here, um, if you look at the class, Firefox driver, okay, right? If you look at the class Firefox driver, you will be able to see the functions and all present inside it. Okay, so this class is actually it drives the Firefox browser. Okay, fine. So if one of the functions is say get, this function takes you to a particular URL, right? Say I write over here http any website cnn.com. okay, so please make sure when you write this, the protocol is very important. You have to mention it. If you just write cnn.com, it will throw an error. It is not like QTP where you can directly write the website name. Okay, so http cnn.com. The protocol is very important, and when you run this, it will open a Firefox and it will take it to cnn.com. Right, so this is cnn.com website. Okay, so it's open, fine. So similarly there are other functions as well. We look at them. Okay, let me talk about the other drivers right now. For Chrome, we have a driver known as Chrome driver. You create the object of this and you will expect Chrome to open up. Fine, you import the Chrome driver class as well, and when you run this, you will get an error, illegal state exception and all. Every one of you will get it. The thing is, for Chrome you need to download an exe file from the Selenium website. Okay, this is the download link. You click on this and you scroll down. Okay, right, and over here you will see third-party drivers not developed by Selenium HQ. This is the Chrome driver. Okay, you click on this and then you'll be taken to this link. Over here you can go to the latest release. Okay, you go over here and click on this link, latest release, and it will take you to this directory. You downloaded it for your operating system. In case you have got Windows 64-bit, you can still download this 32-bit. It will work. Alright, I have downloaded and kept it in my PC. Okay, out here it is. This is the file you will get, chromedriver.exe. There is no need to run this. Okay, don't execute it, nothing will happen. Okay, all you need to do is that in your code you need to write the line system dot set property webdriver dot chrome dot driver. Okay, right, and the value is f drive chrome driver dot exe. Okay, right, f drive chrome driver dot exe is the value for this property, webdriver dot chrome dot driver. Alright, now what is system? System is a class in an internal class inside Selenium. Okay, and set property is a static function inside it. Okay, you can set the property in terms of key value pairs. Fine. Okay, right, that's why I'm able to access set property directly, because it is static function inside the system class. The property name is webdriver.chrome.driver. Make sure everything is in the lower case. Sometimes people put W capital. This will not work. Java is a case sensitive language. Capital and small matter a lot. For example, in this Chrome driver, if I keep C small, it will give me an error. Okay, so make sure you don't do that. These are the mistakes which people commonly make. Okay, and f drive chrome driver.exe is the path of the exe file for Chrome. Okay, right. Now inside this chrome driver.exe, you can write, go to the URL chrome driver.exe get http say yahoo.com. So a Chrome browser will open up and it will take you to Yahoo. So setting the system property in Chrome is very important. Okay, you see that the Chrome has opened and it is navigating to Yahoo. Right. Now talking about the third driver, which is Internet Explorer driver. Okay, right, hold on. The third driver is Internet Explorer driver. You create the object for that. Now these all drivers are inbuilt. Okay, now there are few tips and techniques which I want to tell you. If you just type in and hit the control spacebar of your keyboard, okay, control and spacebar, you will get all the classes which are starting with in name. For the first one mentioned is Internet Explorer driver, so you hit the enter button and select it. So you don't have to write the complete word. Okay, this is very important. At times it helps you a lot. Right, in control spacebar. Okay, right. And suppose you have a code like this, in which I will just enable these lines. Right. Okay, again Windows spacebar is for Mac. Okay, so you import this. Right. So you see that when I have not imported anything, I get an error. And if you have to import everything in one go, okay, then the shortcut is Control Shift and O. O for orange. You hit Control Shift and O simultaneously in a line, and everything will be imported. You see that everything will be imported instantly. Control Shift O. You don't have to move your mouse to import each and every class. Okay, right. Now for hold on, let me comment this. If I write Internet Explorer.get to the URL http yahoo.com, okay, and if I run this again for you will get an error, because you have to download another exe file for from seleniumhq.org website. Okay, you need to go to this download link over here, and out here you have the Internet Explorer driver server. You download it for 32-bit Internet Explorer, not your operating system. 32-bit or 64-bit you download it. I have already downloaded and kept it over here. This is my driver server.exe file. Okay, right. Now all you need to do is that you need to write over here again the same line. You have to set the system property, system.set property webdriver .driver to the value f drive driver.exe. Okay, right. And now when you run this, hold on, who's pinging? Yeah, and when you run this, it will open it will take you to the initial start page of WebDriver, and then it will take you to yahoo.com. Okay, right. So now at times many of you will face issues in alright, many of you will face issues in the thing is, you know, there are few settings which you need to take care of. If you go to tools, or hold on, if you go to view zoom, make sure that the zoom settings are to 100% in right. And secondly, if it's not working, then go to tools, internet options, and under security you have got 4 tabs. Okay, make sure that this leveler is at the same level for all the 4 tabs in case it's not working, right? So these are the 2 settings which you need to do for I in case it's not working. Now there are other drivers as well, right? I'll just talk about them as well. One of the drivers is HTML unit driver. HTML unit driver, you create the object of that driver, right? And you write over here driver dot get, go to the website, say http bbc.com. Fine. So when you run this, you'll see nothing will happen. The program is executing. Okay, this red icon over here denotes that the program is executing. Now it turns gray, that means it stopped. Okay, nothing happened. It's a driver which actually does the testing without opening the browser. It sends a silent request to the server, gets the silent response. For example, if I write over here driver dot get title, this function gives you the title of the page which opens, right? So when I print the title, it will print the title of bbc.com as well. You see that? Now this driver is helpful because firstly it is very fast as compared to the other drivers. It is very fast. Secondly, sometimes say you are on a Unix based shell and you want to test your scripts. Okay, over there you don't have a user interface, you don't have any browser installed. Okay, so you can use HTML unit driver over there. Alright, so it does the testing in a silent mode. Fine. Okay, similarly there are other drivers as well, like there is a Safari driver which is obviously working for, it works in Safari. I don't have Safari with me, right? Then it's not so stable, it is unstable, there are a lot of issues in this, right? Then there is something known as event firing WebDriver as well. Okay, we'll talk about that later on. Okay, what is event firing? It's used for mouse movements or gestures, right? So these are the driver classes. Okay, these are the various driver classes which are available to us. There is no browser in HTML unit browser driver. It's just a silent testing, kind of say headless testing. Okay, right. Now moving ahead, right, if you hold on just a minute. Now if I talk about every driver, okay, every driver will have its own set of functions and all. Okay, now do you need to learn each and every driver separately? This is the thing, that whether you will be learning each and every driver class separately. If I have to work on Firefox, should I be making my script separately? If I have to work on Chrome, should I be making my script separately? If I am working on IE, then whether the scripts have to be different for IE because the drivers are different. Well, the answer to this is no, you don't need to do that. Okay, and you need to learn about the concept of interfaces in Java. In object-oriented programming, you have known something known as interfaces, right? If you study about interfaces, then you'll automatically get to know that why you don't need to learn every driver separately. Okay, right? So when I create a new class over here, I'll just create a new interface, not a class but an interface. Now let's study about interfaces, what they exactly do. Okay, so I'll create an interface over here known as, say sorry, right, known as, say, a simple interface like car. Okay, a very simple example, right? Now what is an interface? Till now we have been creating classes. Okay, an interface is something which you can say it gives you an overview. Okay, for example, when you buy a book, okay, you read the first page of the book on the shop itself, which the first page is like an interface for you which tells you what the book is all about. Okay, so it gives you an overview, right? Or suppose you go to a restaurant to have your dinner. Okay, so over there you have that a la carte menu. You read that menu and order the food, right? So that menu is like an interface, right, for you, right? And you know, you don't know how the food is actually being prepared, but the menu gives you an overall idea what the restaurant is offering, right? When you order a dish, you are still not sure how the dish would be, right? But you still have an idea that what the restaurant is offering. So that's what the interface does in Java as well. It tells you an overview of the application features. Okay, inside it I'll have functions like public void start, public void stop. Okay, so the functions will not have any body, they will just be declared over here. Only the names of the functions would be present. Okay, looking at the car interface, I can say that a car starts and it stops. It's a very simple example. Right, now for example, I make a new car known as, say, any car in the industry, say Audi. Fine. So over here the class Audi is a car, right? So you will write over here implements car, right? Implement, that is the class Audi is implementing the car interface. Okay, now when a class in Java, a class can implement an interface, which means that it is mandatory. Please listen to this carefully. It is mandatory for that class to implement all the functions in that class. Okay, in the car class, whatever are the functions, right? This in the car interface, whatever are the functions, the Audi class will be implementing it mandatorily. That's why it is giving me an error. If I move my mouse over the error, it will tell me the fix is add the unimplemented methods. When I click on it, both the methods public void start and stop are added inside this. I cannot say that fine, I'll not implement one of them, right? You have to implement both of them. Okay, it is mandatory to implement both the functions. Alright, now what is this @override? This means that this function is coming up from the car interface. You can remove it as well. This is known as an annotation. Okay, you can remove it as well, but if you keep it, then if a third person looks at your code, he will come to know that fine, this function is coming up from this interface. Okay, so inside it I can write system.out.println Audi starting, right, and then Audi stopping. Right, pretty simple, right? We have an interface. Okay, a class is implementing an interface, and it is mandatory for the class to implement all the functions of the interface in Java. Alright, I'll tell you how this is used in Selenium. You'll come to know in this few minutes, right?